think of the most beautiful architectural structure, the most beautiful building you have ever seen in your life. Are you thinking about some old church in Europe? Well, I am. For me, it was Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. I was so impressed and completely breathless that when I saw Notre Dame a few weeks later in Paris, I was very underimpressed. I was standing in front of Notre Dame going, is that the famous Notre Dame? Well, the truth is, you can't really compare those two buildings. They are both stunning. They are beautiful. They are both very carefully designed and executed to perfection. And recently, I have read a sentence from Greenlights, autobiography by Matthew McConaughey, that said, life, like an architecture, if carefully designed, can be beautiful. This sentence actually stayed with me, to the point that I'm quoting it a few times a day, or at least a few times a week, because it made me think, how do you design a beautiful life? What would make the structural elements that could work together to create a beautiful life? And I thought of time. Our lives are built of years, years of months, and months of days, and of course days of hours. You know, I actually researched what is the average life expectancy on our planet. And according to United Nations, it is 72.6 years. That's 26,499 days. So how do you design your life? One day at a time, right? That means that every day we can show up intentional about increasing our well-being, because if we feel better about ourselves, well, we feel better about the life we live. And what happens if we feel better about the life we live? We build better relationships. We are better friends. We are better spouses. We are better parents. And how do we increase our well-being if our brain has some annoying features? Features like negative bias. Did you know that your brain scans the world around you for potential threats? It's constantly looking for negatives around you and in your life. The second annoying feature is mind wandering. Our mind wanders between the regrets of the past or the worries of the future, and we are never in here and now to actually enjoy life. And the fact that all communication and all advertising and everything that everybody tells us that we need to be worried and need to be planning ahead and we need to be thinking ahead, that we're actually missing on the life right here and right now. And the third annoying feature, it's miswanting. See, it's a tendency of our mind to tell us what will make us happy, but then when we get that thing that makes us happy, it actually doesn't make us as happy as we thought it would. So we set out to chase happiness again. We inflate in our minds what stuff is going to make us happy and how much it's going to make us happy when we get it. And we fall into the cycle of chasing after things and then getting the things and never being as satisfied, as happy as we thought we would be. And we're chasing another thing. Well, it turns out that there are 3 simple habits that you can implement in your life. You can start doing them tomorrow morning, or today, that will increase your well-being, that will improve your focus, that will allow you to live more present and undistracted in your life, that will actually make you happier, and that will improve your physical well-being. Because apparently, happier people exercise more willingly. And those 3 simple habits are meditating, journaling, and gratitude. The reason I'm listing them all 3 together is because I actually practice them all 3 together. I start my every morning with meditation, 15 minutes. I do it now, 15 minutes. I start my every morning with all those 3 habits. And if I don't, very quickly, I'm spiraling downwards and becoming increasingly unhappy. So, meditation. That's the very first thing I do when I wake up. Now I do it for 15 minutes. But when I started and I tried to do it for 10 minutes, my brain was freaking out. I started having thoughts in my head that I didn't realize I had. It was ugly. My mind was remembering stuff from my past that I didn't know were this horrifying. And it was causing more anxiety than actual rest. So I called my friend and I shared it with him. And I said, what do I do? I wanted to quit. And he gave me a great advice. Before you start running, you gotta walk. So I did. I dropped my meditation time. So if you are just starting and you are considering starting meditation, please start slow. Baby steps. Because meditation can be hard. Because you will be facing your own thoughts. And it's not gonna be pretty all the time. The second habit that I do is journaling. Right after I'm done my meditation, I sit down at my kitchen table, open my pink diary, and start writing. I'm writing things that came up during meditation. I'm just doing a thought dump. All the angry thoughts and all the disappointments and all the inspirations and all the ideas and all the beautiful affirmations. Whatever it is that I have in my head, when I'm journaling, I am just writing things out. More often than not, I transition from angry and bitter and disappointed and scared and anxious thoughts to empowering thoughts, to hopeful thoughts, to more rested thoughts. I can see the progression of anxiety to peace, and anger to joy, and disappointment to fulfillment. So by the time I'm done the thought dump, I feel refreshed. I feel like I have taken an emotional shower. And my third, final phase of a designed day is gratitude. I write 5 things I'm grateful for from the previous 24 hours. See, I had a little problem with gratitude. The problem was that I actually didn't know how to do it. I kept reading that it's an important habit and it's an important thing to do, but it felt like I was spinning in circles. To me, in my head, I had this picture of gratitude as a shy, timid girl sitting somewhere in a corner, too afraid to speak. And I knew it was a wrong picture. So when I've heard Sean Aker talking about gratitude, and then I read in his book, The Happiness Advantage, how to do gratitude, that it would actually benefit you and it will rewire your brain, my whole world has changed. So now I write not only what I'm thankful for, but I write specifically, why am I thankful for these things? See, the whole idea is to rewire the negative bias of your brain. So it's not good enough that you tell your brain, hey, I'm thankful for my family, for my house, for my job. You need to tell your brain about the new things you're thankful for from your last 24 hours. And you need to tell it why. Intentionally make it work to look for positives around you. And I have to tell you, I've been doing this for the past 3 years and my life has changed. My well-being has improved. I'm generally a happier person and I do have better relationships. But the most important relationship that is much better for me is with myself. I have learned who I am, what's important for me, and how can I live a designed life. That I know now that the well-designed life is just like an architecture. It's beautiful.